Here are the answers for the section 10-10 assignment. Number 1, we're asked to graph this complex number. It has a real number component, -3, and an imaginary component, the 5i. Complex numbers are graphed on a coordinate system. The axis going across horizontally is the real number axis. The axis running up and down is the imaginary axis. To graph, you locate the real number part along the real axis, so you go to -3, and then you locate the imaginary part along the imaginary axis. Go straight up to a height of 5i and put a dot there. So this dot is the complex number -3 plus 5i. Number 3, the real number component is 8, so you travel to 8 on the real axis line, and then go down to where -3i is. So it's very similar to graphing x and y coordinates. It's just this isn't the x-axis and this isn't the y-axis. This one going across is the real axis, and the one going up and down is the imaginary axis. Number 13, we're asked to simplify this. So 3 plus 7i plus 1 more I. This is 3 plus 8i. This is combining like terms. Question B, we have the real number 3, and then we can combine the I terms. 7i minus I is positive 6i. Question C, we have I minus 3, so that makes -3. Now let's work with the I terms. 1i take away 7i, that's -6i. Number 15, same idea, just combining like terms again. So as you look across, the real number part is a 1. Now let's do the imaginary part. -i plus 3i is positive 2i. Question B. Look all the way across and find the real number part. There's a negative and then a 1, so that's -1. Now the imaginary piece. -i minus 3i. That's -4i. And question C. The real number term is a 1, and now let's work with I. 3i minus -i. Remember that a negative is like a plus sign, so 3i plus I is positive 4i. Number 17, same idea. 7 plus 2 makes 9, and then -3i. Next one, 7 minus 2 is 5, and then we have a negative of -3i. That's plus 3i. Question C, 2 minus the 7 is -5, and then there's a -3i. This is combining like terms. Number 19, same idea, it's just we have 3 complex numbers to combine. So 5 plus 2 makes 7, take away 3 makes 4. Now work with the i's. 3i plus -4i makes -i, and then minus -8i makes positive 7i. Number 21, we have -7 plus 4, that's -3, and then plus 1, that makes -2. Now we have the negative of -3i, so that's 3i, and then add I, that's 4i, and so there's a 4i. Number 23, solve for x and y. Here's the real number term, and here's the real number term. Those get added together to make 5. So what's the answer for x? X has to be -2, because -2 plus 7 would make 5. Now let's get y figured out. Here is an I term, here's an I term, and those combine together to make 2i. So what's the y have to be? It has to be a 5, because 5i plus -3i makes 2i. Number 25. On the right side, we have 1 plus 3 is 4, and then there's the plus 5i. So once we've simplified the right side, now we can get the x and the y figured out. The 2 times x has to turn out to be 4. So x is equal to 2. And then the y has to be a 5.